Okay, so for the people without any context whatsoever, I'm gonna be doing a code review on this Minecraft plugin. So if you're not interested in that, you're free to go. Let's start with the main class. And what do we have here? We have setting the plugin instance. That's completely fine. We have registration of the events, and then we have try catch with class for name. And first off, this is wrong. You don't want to do that at the end because you already registered the events. We should move that up a bit, like here. Now, if we fail here, we just turn off the plugin and we return. We do nothing else. We don't register that because why would we? We don't even have the event to register that. We have to check if we have the actual class for the event before registering it. Now this boolean here is paper. That doesn't do anything because if we're not on paper, we're just turning off the plugin. So that's not needed here at all. And for this we're gonna come back because I already went through the plugin and saw a couple of things. Let's look at this event here. First off, we have unused imports. That's bad. And then we have a player interact entity event. So we're checking for the offhand. That's completely understandable because that event will fire twice if we don't for main and offhand. Now here, I don't think that's correct here. That should be a one-liner. This is semantics, but if you use the parentheses, you use them everywhere. Like if you do, just don't do this. That's totally unreadable. When I first tried to read through the code, that was so confusing to me. Just don't. Just possibly if you're checking for permission here, right? So let's just regard that. Let's just return if we don't have the permission. Let's just reformat quickly, and then we logically go. If it's offhand, we don't care. If we don't have permission, we don't care. If it's not instance of the boss, we don't care. And by the way, first check for instance, then check for permission. Permission checks are heavy, way heavier than instance of checks. So we want to rule out the possibilities first. So, okay, what do we have here? We just have some debug. That's not important. If held item contains like why is this held item is a string? It's a material name, so it should be a material name. So everywhere here, material name, material name, material name. What else we had here? So that's just PDC. That seems all right. Yeah, the rest of it seems pretty okay. Okay, let's go to the load event, and actually here we have the paper event we are using. So coming back to the main class, where we're checking for the class here. We're checking for version history manager. Why are we checking for that? We don't need that if someone's running some weird fork. They just have events from paper just for the API and no context or no no version history or something. Like why are we checking for that class? We don't need that class. We only need this one. So we should check for this one. Because if we have this, then we can run it. The other one didn't make sense at all. So here what we have, we're checking if it's a boss. That's okay. That here we're just checking for BTC, and we're just setting the color of the boss bar. Yeah, that's pretty alright. And the last thing seen here, and that's a bucket thing. That's not even a programming thing, but the event handler. You can add the parentheses here, and you can say here, for instance, priority, and actually set your priority and ignore cancelled. So if the event was cancelled before your plugin got to it, you don't do anything because it was cancelled. It never happened. So we don't want to do anything, waste that CPU cycles. So the same thing actually applies to this event, where it's on normal because we're not canceling the event, we're not doing anything major, we're just acting off the action. So it's pretty okay for normal, and that's pretty much it. There wasn't a lot here. We don't need this. Like we're not using it. It's empty. We don't need it. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Thanks for sticking by through the entire video. Congrats.